Good evening, everyone. It is Monday evening. Someone is freshly showered and freshly covered in her shea butter. So now it is time.
Sneezing.
Yeah, she's been sneezing a lot. Her allergies are acting up a little bit today. But we are here, and it's time for another installment of.
Story time with Mommy and Ladybug.
There you go. So the book that we're reading this evening is called Pirate Fairy. This is, wait a minute, Ladybug, let me tell them about the book, okay? So this is a Disney book. It's from the Wonderful World of Reading collection, if you may call it. My mother actually signed my baby girl up for this, so I don't know if she's still signed up to it, but basically she would get 4 to 5 books mailed to us every month or every other month. So she actually has a lot of these books that are based off of different movies. So the Pirate Fairy is an actual movie that you can find probably on Disney Plus or somewhere like that. But we have books for the movie Up, for the Jungle Book, for Cars, for a lot of them. And so they're really cute, especially when you get to watch the movie afterwards. So we're going to read The Pirate Fairy. Ready? You going to help Mommy turn pages today?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Whoop. Your head's in the way, child. Okay, right there. One beautiful morning, as most of the fairies were happily flying to work, a fairy named Zarina was walking instead. Hey, Zarina, out of pixie dust again? Asked Rosetta, a garden talent fairy. Rosetta thought it was strange that Zarina, a dust keeper fairy, was always walking. After all, Zarina worked with the pixie dust that all of the fairies needed to fly.
Different.
Turn the page. It looks so pretty too. Look at all the greenery.
Look at all the fairies.
And the fairies and the flowers, right? Oh, wait a minute, I missed the page. Okay. Zarina worked at the dust depot packaging the gold pixie dust that flowed in a stream from the pixie dust tree. While all dust keepers loved pixie dust, Zarina was extra curious about it. Today, it was Zarina's turn to help Fairy Gary with the special blue pixie dust. The blue dust helped the pixie dust tree make the gold pixie dust. So now this is interesting because another color for gold is yellow. And so they're saying they have to use the blue to make the yellow. What happens when you mix blue and yellow together?
Green.
It makes green. Very good. Zarina watched as specks of blue dust made the gold dust multiply. The stream of dust coming from the tree flowed faster and stronger. From a trickle to a roar, Fairy Gary explained. If there's blue dust, why can't there be other colors? What if there's pink? What if we make it? Zarina asked Gary eagerly. We do not tamper with pixie dust, Gary reminded her. He didn't know that Zarina had been walking everywhere so that she could save her own pixie dust for her experiments. That night, Zarina found a speck of blue pixie dust when she got home. Uh-oh. Now, Fairy Gary told her not to mess with the pixie dust, but it looks like she's going to be curious. You think she's going to be curious? For a long time, Zarina had been mixing gold dust with other things to try to make different colors. She decided to add a bit of blue pixie dust to a mixture, and it made orange dust. With orange pixie dust, she had light fairy talents. Different colors of dust gave her different talents. Excited, Zarina showed Tinkerbell her discovery, but Tinkerbell was worried. I really think you should stop, Tink told her friend. Surprised by Tinkerbell's reaction, Zarina accidentally spilled some of the pink pixie dust that she had made on a plant. The plant grew out of control and destroyed the dust depot. When Gary found out about Zarina's experiments, he told Zarina that she could no longer work with pixie dust. Oh no. He fired her. You know what that means?
What?
When you fire somebody from a job, that means that they don't have the job anymore because they were disobedient. So she didn't listen to Fairy Gary, and so he told her that she can't work there anymore.
She can't work to the fairy. Where's the fairy house?
She can't work with the dust anymore, no. Zarina was heartbroken. She loved working with pixie dust, but no one in Pixie Hollow seemed to understand her. So Zarina decided to pack up her things and fly away. She ran away from home.
It was Pixie Hollow movie.
I know, but she ran away from home because she's sad. She doesn't think anybody understands her and understands what she wants to do. A year passed. It was time for the Four Seasons Festival. Tinkerbell and her friends were working on a music box for the finale. Tinkerbell's sister Periwinkle was performing with the Winter Fairies. Suddenly, Tink noticed poppies growing around the stadium. Then she spotted Zarina. Rosetta knew that the flower's pollen would make everyone fall asleep. "Hide!" she shouted. Tink and her friends scrambled into the music box to protect themselves. Uh-oh, Zarina's back, but with poppies, and poppies make you go night-night.
Poppies make you go night-night?
Yep, they're a flower, and part of the flower can make you go sleep for a long time. When the friends emerged, they found everyone was asleep. They quickly realized that Zarina had stolen the only supply of blue pixie dust. Without it, the pixie dust tree couldn't make the gold dust, and the fairies wouldn't be able to fly. The friends followed the glow from the blue dust, knowing it would lead them to Zarina. To their surprise, the trail led them to a pirate ship. Uh-oh. So what does that mean? Is Zarina a pirate now?
Yeah.
She is. Do you think she's a good pirate or a bad
I
pirate?
think it's a good thing.
You think she's a good one? Well, let's see. We'll find out.
Me?
The fairies peeked through a hole. They were stunned to learn that Zarina was the pirate's captain. Oh. So she's the captain of the ship. That means that all the people on the ship have to listen to her. That means she's in charge.
Yeah. All the fairies woken up.
Well, not all the fairies woke up. They never went to sleep. So Tinkerbell and her friends didn't go to sleep because they hid. Using their talents, the friends snatched the blue pixie dust back and headed for shore, but their former friend chased after them. The pirate fairy hurled some colorful pixie dust toward them, knocking them backward. Zarina snatched the blue pixie dust and flew away. I don't think she's a good pirate sometimes.
I think that was a bad...
Yeah, I think she's not being nice. She took some stuff that wasn't hers, and then she tried to hurt her friends. That's not nice. Do we treat our friends like that?
No, we don't.
You're right. We don't treat our friends like that. The colored pixie dust had changed all of their talents. It wasn't easy to adjust to the new talents. Tinkerbell was now a water talent fairy, but she couldn't control water. Rosetta found that she was now an animal talent fairy, and the newly hatched crocodile thought she was his mother.
What is, Who's that again?
That is Rosetta.
Rosetta is her mother?
Well, no. So Rosetta now has she's the animal talent fairy, so that means she can talk to animals. And so the animal thinks that she's the mommy because the crocodile just hatched out of the egg. And normally the first person they see when they come out of the egg, they think is their mommy. Finally, the fairy friends gained control of their talents and sneaked aboard the pirate ship. The ship was sailing towards Skull Rock. You know what Skull is?
No.
So inside of our body, we have bones. And inside of your head, the bones in your head is called a skull.
I have lots of bones.
You do. We all have a lot of bones.
Yeah, every people in the world.
Mm-hmm. Inside the cave, the friends were amazed to discover that Zarina had grown a second pixie dust tree. She was going to use the blue pixie dust to make a huge supply of gold pixie dust. The fairies learned the pirates planned to sprinkle the ship with it and fly to the mainland to rob the world of its greatest treasures. The fairies sneaked into the captain's cabin. James, the cabin boy, was there with Zarina. James was the only one who could understand Zarina and would explain her orders to the other pirates. "Hard to believe the other fairies didn't appreciate your talent," he murmured. Zarina jingled. She liked James. Tink and her friends tried to stop Zarina, but the pirates captured them instead. Tinkerbell pleaded with Zarina. "You don't belong here," Tink insisted. "This is exactly where I belong," Zarina replied. She thought James and the pirates were her true friends.
Who did that?
Who did what? Who captured all the fairies?
Mm-hmm.
The men on the ship, all these men, they captured the fairies because the fairies are trying to take the blue pixie dust from them. Zarina used the blue pixie dust to make gold pixie dust flow from the second pixie dust tree. But once James was sure that they had enough gold dust to make the ship fly, he trapped Zarina in a lantern. Zarina realized the pirates had never been her friends. "We don't need you anymore," James sneered at Zarina. He had been the real captain all along. Aww. Poor Zarina.
And poor fairies.
And poor fairies, you're right. All the fairies are in trouble.
Now what?
Well, meanwhile, the baby Croc had been looking for Rosetta. When he found her, he helped the fairies escape. The fairies quickly retrieved the vial of blue pixie dust from the tree. But before they could leave, a voice boomed, "Return the dust or your friend is done for." James was threatening to drop the lantern with Zarina in it into the sea. None of the fairies wanted to see Zarina hurt, so Tink gave him the blue pixie dust. See, they're real friends because even though Zarina tried to hurt them, all the fairies still want to help her and make sure she doesn't get hurt because they still love her. The pirates covered their ship with gold dust and flew away, taking the blue pixie dust with them. As they left, James tossed Zarina into the sea anyway. The fairies quickly rescued her. Oh, James was a mean captain.
What? Who fairy?
Well, all the fairies went to help Zarina. "You saved me," Zarina said, understanding who her true friends really were. The pirate fairy was sorry for what she had done and wanted to make it right. Together, the fairies flew to the ship to battle the pirates. Ooh, look, they all have swords in their hands, too.
Every pirate has a hook.
Well, most pirates have hooks if they don't have a hand, so the hook replaces their hand.
And one of them has an eye patch.
One of them has an eye patch, that's right. But their tiny swords were no match for the pirates. Suddenly, the fairies realized that they could defeat the pirates using their newfound talents instead. The pirates were soon tossed overboard. Well, they beat the pirates, Ladybug.
Tomorrow's art class.
Shh, not supposed to tell people that. Meanwhile, Zarina squared off against James to get back the blue dust. During their struggle, he dropped one speck. Zarina quickly threw it back at him. "From a trickle to a roar," she called. The gold dust on top of James multiplied, and an out-of-control James blasted away. He dropped the blue dust and landed in the water where the Croc chased the pirate away. Okay, we're almost done, baby. Oh, I think this is almost the last page. The fairies flew the pirate ship back to Pixie Hollow. Zarina woke up the sleeping fairies and returned the blue pixie dust to the queen. Then Zarina restored all of her friends back to their original talents with a colorful swirl of pixie dust. Everyone was impressed with Zarina's new talent, including Fairy Gary. Zarina was back in Pixie Hollow, where she and her unique talent truly belonged. Meanwhile, somewhere out at sea, James was pulled aboard another pirate ship.
And they lived happily ever after.
The end. So thank you guys for joining us for another story time with Mommy and Ladybug. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you like and comment and share and do all those things. And we will see you guys next time, right? Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.